Welcome to the April 2010 edition of Outlook Video, your nationally recognized, award-winning show for gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender communities. I'm Roberta Gonzalez-Gregg.
And I'm Johnny Fish.
As we produce this show during the month of March, U.S. Census Bureau forms will arrive in households throughout the nation. Join me later in our show when Ray Mueller and David Lloyd, U.S. Census Bureau Partnership Specialists, return to our People Like Us segment with more insight into the LGBT community and how they can benefit from full participation in the census. Welcome to this segment where we honor the people of our community, people like us. Tonight, I have the pleasure of having David Lloyd and Ray Mueller, who will be joining us from the 2010 census, who were here just a month or so ago, telling us all about the census. But let me tell you something, our viewers. The 2010 census matters for every lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender person. The census counts same-sex partners, and for the first time in 2010, will count same-sex married couples. Transgender respondents are counted as they identify by their gender. This is something unique and special. Welcome, gentlemen, and thank you back.
Thank you, Roberta.
Tell us why this is so important.
It's historic.
Yes.
You know, for the first time, a federal agency is actually going to acknowledge that gay marriage exists.
Even though in states such as California, we had that short window of opportunity that many of us married, but it was never recognized federally. But federally, you'd be recognized as a married couple.
Exactly. Yeah, this is the first census, as Ray said, that census data will be reported out as people identify themselves. So if a gay married couple reports themselves as married, that's how it will be reported in the data when it's published in 2 years.
But they still have a choice to choose whether they want to just say partner, unmarried, partner, or spouse, or husband and wife. They have these choices.
Exactly. It's all about self-identification.
Excellent.
We want people to identify themselves as they see themselves in their relationships.
Well, that's terrific, because I've seen it in the past where we've seen the identification through ethnicity with different types of ethnicity and wondered, well, why not do this as well? So this is a good time in coming, and it's exciting.
It's a big step. Again, it is only a step because it's the couples, and there's a lot of controversy about why we're not counting, you know, the single gay families and or single lesbians. But the problem is that we don't have a sexuality question at the time. Right. And that is something that may over time happen. But you mentioned the race question. 20 years ago, you could only mark one race. And because so many people kept marking multiple races, the census had to change to go along with the times. And now you mark as many races as apply to you individually.
Yes,
exactly.
And that can be different in each household. I mean, within the household, that can be different as well.
Absolutely.
Right.
So the first person can mark it as whatever ethnicity they relate to. Second person, likewise.
Right.
And this is really good. But this also means a great deal monetarily to our community. Please, David, would you tell us how does that play into?
Oh, sure. I'd be happy to. Every year, the federal government distributes over $400 billion to communities all over the country. And those monies are used for roads, hospitals, bridges, schools, infrastructure for communities. They're also used for services to the communities. So organizations like the Billy DeFrank Center in San Jose, the LGBT Center in San Francisco, those organizations get government funding, and that funding's distributed based on census data. So it's interesting, the Brookings Institute did a study based on 2008 census data, which shows that in California, approximately $1,450 is distributed per person every year. So filling out your census questionnaire is like writing a check to your community for $1,450 a year. It's great. You consider that over 10 years.
Yes.
That's a lot of money to the community.
And it's our tax money that we want to see to go to work.
Exactly.
Now, Ray, we were talking earlier also about how this also does for our Congress critters. So this helps our Congress men and women let them know. Well, first of all, it gets the accounting for the representatives, but it also lets them know about us in our community. Can you tell us more about that?
Absolutely. The basis for the census in 1790 was in order to determine how many congressional representatives each of the states would get. And to this day, that is the primary function of census. is to tell the government what America needs.
Now, you've coming off of a road trip in the Census mobile, is that right?
In fact, yes. I worked with the road tour throughout our region, and David worked with it on several of the events here in the area. The road tour was a wonderful thing, and it was a great opportunity for us to get out and actually get people to interact with the census and to better understand how easy, safe, and important the census is.
Very good. Good. Three very good points, because we
Right.
want to make sure that this information is well kept.
Right.
Is very well kept.
Right.
All right. So
Exactly.
if you want to fill out, so please fill out the forms, mail them back when it comes to you later this month. And by law, your responses are confidential and cannot be shared with anyone. So don't let that deter you from answering those forms right away.
Exactly.
And thank you, gentlemen. And if you'll take a look, you can also find how to find out more about the census right on your screen today. Again, thank you, gentlemen, for bringing this important information to us in our community.
Our pleasure. Thank
you.
you for having us.
We'd love to get mail from you. Send it to Outlook Video at P.O. Box 390996, Mountain View, California, 94039-0996.
To contact us by telephone, call 408-293-3040, extension 205.
Or you can send email to comments@outlookvideo.org.
To learn more about Outlook Video and to get a list of our air dates and times, point your web browsers to outlookvideo.org.